It's the Dem Guys Podcast.
Speaking of Skype lag.
Yeah, I know, really.
I didn't think that one through. Well, welcome to the Dem Guys Podcast. Yeah.
Where we are totally unprepared some of the time.
And only mostly unprepared the rest of the time.
Yes. So we are guest list this week. So we just have the normal three Dem Guys, me, Andrew.
Slash?
And Snowshoe.
Woo!
Yay. Woo! And, yeah, so we're just gonna jump right in and start talking about what games we played this week. I, personally, have played...
You always play so much stuff, man.
Well,
it's like you have a gaming podcast to report to every 2 weeks or something.
Here's a funny story. The podcast has started affecting the way I play games.
Really?
Because I know that you guys don't usually have a huge list. You just have, like, Minecraft and one or two other things.
Mm-hmm.
And so I kind of feel bad that I always have so many games on my list. I feel like it makes it look like I have nothing else to do. I just play video games all the time, which is not true. I go to work and I do other stuff. But, it's just that I'll be like, oh, I feel like playing this game for a couple hours. So, but because of the podcast, there were several games that I wanted to play over the last few days. I'm like, the podcast recording's coming up in a few days. It can wait. I'll just wait till after we record the podcast and start the new
counteractive
week.
To what the podcast is supposed to do, but it's okay. It's fine.
Well, what I find amusing is that Drew has set in his head that there's like a law that if he plays a game, it must be mentioned in the next podcast.
Right. It's as if it gets imprinted on his forehead, and we can all tell if he's not telling us.
All right, Drew. Well, let's have it, and we'll know if you're lying. Go.
Okay, well, I have played Minecraft, which...
Snow disbelieves you.
I haven't done any recording, although I plan on recording later tonight. But Matt has helped me out with some stuff. He's very awesome about it.
Secret stuff or like podcast-worthy stuff?
Like, he helped me figure out a staircase design for my base.
Okay, alright.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm master of the spiral staircase, apparently.
Yes. I've also, of course, been playing Smite, trying to hit level... What the heck is going on?
Oh, hey, that's my mute button.
What the world?
Well, yeah, so, like, you know, on the keyboard, when you want to mute your microphone, and you hit R, and you're also in the Google Doc, and so it just goes,
Oh, I wasn't watching the doc. I was wondering what the heck you people sounded like you were having a group hallucination all of a sudden.
Well, we kind of were.
There were a whole bunch of R's across the screen.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, I've been playing Smite, still working on reaching level 30 before the release, which I don't know if we actually mentioned the release date before. That is March 25th. So
that sounds familiar. I think we might have, but
just
in case we didn't, there it is.
On Smite, is it like League of Legends? I think this is like League of Legends. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but like once you hit level 30, you don't level up anymore. Like 30 is the top level you can get.
Yeah.
Isn't that how LOL is? LOL. That feels weird. I can't call it LOL. League of Legends is. I was trying to be hip, guys. It didn't work.
I think more people refer to it as LOL than LOL.
No, I'm not that cool.
I'm really not sure. I don't play League of Legends.
I don't play either, so.
I played once. Yeah.
I don't know anything about anything.
Great.
That's because Matt only plays those Linux games.
That's true.
Those Linux games like Snake and Pong.
And then I have a couple of new games on my list this week. I have Call of Duty Ghost, which I just bought for 33% off. Yay! So, and I've been having a ton of fun with that. I beat the storyline. I've been playing a bunch of multiplayer. And if you have not played the gun game in a Call of Duty, that is so ridiculously fun. So I recommend it.
The gun game? And
I've seen it played by the B team in their race to commander, where each kill like upgrades your gun to the next
every
best
time
gun.
you get a kill, it gives you a new weapon, and so everybody starts with the same gun. and you have to work through like 18 guns, and then in Ghosts anyway, the final weapon is just a knife, and so you have to stab someone to win.
So it's kind of like the alphabet game, like whenever you're in a road trip and everybody has to find different letters and everybody gets stuck on J. So like some people are really good at it, and then you all meet up on J.
It depends. If you count license plates, it's easier to find letters.
No, you never count license plates. You can't count anything on a car. That's cheating.
There are very specific rules, Drew. You
Apparently.
cannot fly, fast and fancy free.
Yeah. We're already infringing on my portion of this podcast by spoiling what games I've been playing this week. So.
I also played Clash of Heroes, which is
It's a Might and Magic game, isn't it?
Yes. I had never heard of this until I saw it was the free game of the month on Xbox Live. And so I downloaded it, and I've been playing it, and it's ridiculously fun.
Wait, that's on... So it's on Xbox Live Arcade?
Yes.
Okay. Did that come out for Xbox?
I have no idea.
I don't think it did. Whatever, I'll do some research while you talk about it.
It's a fantasy RPG type thing, but the combat is actually like... It's also kind of a puzzle game, and the combat, the way it works is you have to like line up your units or whatever, and if you get like 3 in a row, then they're ready to attack, but then you can do combos and stuff to deal more damage, and it's actually really fun. It's a nice little strategy game, so.
Interesting. Yeah, it was released on Nintendo DS, PlayStation 3, Xbox 360, iOS, and Android.
Okay.
Kind of a strange conglomeration there.
Sounds like it's on a lot of things. I don't know what I was going to say there.
Well, yeah. That was my point.
Thank you for adding that,
Drew. And then finally, I visited Matt this week, a week ago. And so yeah, I was over at his house and we played some PlayStation.
IRL? Okay.
Yes.
IRL, yeah.
Yes.
Took me a second there.
Oh yeah, I forgot a game on this list. We played some PlayStation All-Stars, which neither of us had ever played before. I played Super Smash Bros. And it's kind of similar to that. I'm not gonna go into my full review of the game, but it was very fun.
Yeah, in other words, you didn't like it as much as Super Smash Bros. Because everybody thought they were gonna like that game so much, and then everybody got it, and it was like, man, this isn't like Super Smash Bros.
Yeah,
it's true.
I think the main source of entertainment in the PlayStation All-Star Clash or whatever it is the kind of the derpiness of some of the things that are in it.
I was most entertained by the fact that Drake from Uncharted could move the wall he was sitting behind if you placed it on a ledge.
Right. Yeah. He had a thing where, like, he could summon this, like, concrete, like, like cattle chutes on a highway. It was like a concrete wall like that. He could summon it.
Take cover behind it. Yep.
Yeah, when he flipped to the other side, if there wasn't enough room on the ledge, he would shove the concrete barrier to the side to be on to fit. And that just, that guy's buff.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
See, the main problem I have with that game is, now correct me if I'm wrong, I played it one time and then gave up on it forever, is that you can't fall out of the world, right?
Yes.
Yeah, we never hit a level that had
as far as I know, you can't, and that's like one of the big draws of Super Smash Bros. Is you're knocking people off the world, and people are like actively trying to jump back on. And it's fun to watch that. But when I played PS All Stars,
the way this works is you basically hit the other players enough that you build up this meter, and when your meter gets full, you get kind of like a power attack. And if you can hit the power attack, that will get you a kill.
Yeah, it's a weird mechanic. It's a very strange game, but it made for good, entertainment.
Yeah, it's like they were trying to copy Super Smash Bros. And then they were trying to do it just a little bit different, and then that was the part that they screwed up. They should have just copied it.
Exactly. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And finally, I did, this reminded me, I did play a little bit more of the original Uncharted game, and that's coming along, and it's pretty fun.
I've got all of those. I need to play them. I
have all of them, but no PlayStation. So I only play it when I go to my friend's house.
Nice.
I'll get a PlayStation eventually.
Drew has a console timeshare.
It's like one of those Wii card things. Have you seen this? Never mind. Nobody else knows what that is. I'm not going to explain it.
All right.
Whatever. Joke lost on everybody. Sorry, guys.
there
Maybe
might
a
be
listener gets it.
Yeah,
one
I
of
doubt
our 5 listeners.
Hey, don't you put them down. I know all
Yeah.
5 of them.
We're 12 minutes in. I'm cutting 11 and a half of those minutes.
It's just me listing games, not saying anything about them.
It's gonna be real obvious too. It's like I played Minecraft, Smite, CoD Ghost, and
And then just, cool. Next subject.
So, Slash, what have you been playing?
Well, I've been playing Minecraft because it's the game that I'm always in. I mean, if I had no other game, I'd be satisfied with being in Minecraft. But the big thing in Minecraft lately was I did a big revenge prank on Nihon Tiger for his participation in the orange clay pranking of my base and Drew's base. My revenge on him was to go to his jungle treehouse, and I completely, with the help of J.R. Beers, who's a new member of the VBFS, friend of mine, we completely encased his jungle treehouse in a giant block of ice, which was just thoroughly entertaining to set up, and then his reaction was pretty hilarious too.
Dude, I don't know. You sound like you triggered something pretty bad there. I think Nihon got to a place that he hasn't been before, and I'm kind of nervous.
See,
he talks a big game, but I don't think that I have anything to fear from the Orange Cat. I think that his mind is still reeling, trying to come up with something that could even approach the sheer epic scale of my revenge upon him. So far I have noticed though, and I'm assuming that this was Nihon that did it, the sign on our portal on the bridge that used to say, feel free to prank Matt at any time or whatever that Drew put up, has changed, and it now says prepare for unforeseen consequences, I think is what it says.
So he's been to your place.
He's been there, yeah, and he's
so he's planning something.
I may have to go around and just start digging randomly looking for hidden chests.
Dude, that would be the best prank ever, to make somebody think you're gonna prank them and make them go crazy, like psychological warfare type stuff.
That's true. Yeah.
it
would be like telling someone you've put 100 signs all around their base.
Yeah, and then only putting 30 of them like Drew did.
Dude, I totally put 100 signs.
I found a couple after we looked for all of them.
Oh,
I mean,
really?
I found that one under the ground, but I found another one that was just like on the side of a mountain that we both completely missed.
Oh, man.
One thing I wanted to say about the Nihon prank, which most of the people watching Snow mute his mic again.
Gosh dang it, man. I just want to look at the Google Doc while I'm muting my mic. Is that okay? Oh gosh, I screwed everything up now.
One thing that most people probably don't know is that, man, I was there when Nihon was trying to clean up his prank after his video. He got back on another day and he was working on cleaning up, and I was online, and he was so miserable, and like he was just having the hardest time because he doesn't have a silk touch pick, and so he was just having the hardest time.
He had to mine it in a particular way to make sure it didn't flow. Yep.
Yeah, so I offered to go over and help, and so yeah,
I helped
did that.
him?
Yeah.
What?
What?
I was just gonna let that one ride. I'm not even gonna touch it. I'm not gonna touch the
Okay.
awkward silence.
Wow. He's just Snow is completely astonished.
I am.
You know what though, Snow, this is I think this is all part of Drew's end game. I think this is he's got this all planned out, I'm going to go help Nihon, and
So
then he's going to turn it back around, turn the tables on him at some point. Use that to gain his confidence. That's what I suspect.
That's pretty dubious, Drew.
Drew was also a victim of the orange clay prank.
Right, that's why I was confused. It seems like to me that you two, the other two people I'm talking to, are against Nihon right now, and Nihon may be looking for other team members.
Oh, now you would not team against
I have no allegiances
these
yet.
2/3 of dem guys. We have had people on the server refer to us as dem guys, like we are a team. So I just want to make sure that you understand where your allegiances should be lying.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah, sure. Because clearly I haven't been pranked by 2/3 of this podcast already.
I've never pranked you.
Well, yours was like a mini prank.
No, mine was just making sure that you knew that there were name tags there in a very clear fashion. Mine was a masterful effort of communication.
Right above my pit of doom that I fell in trying to knock it all down.
Well, that's not my problem.
I'm sure it's not. It's going to be your problem. Wait, I didn't say that. Never mind. Shh.
The more people prepping to prank me, the more chances are that I'm going to hit a chest digging randomly. So that might be a viable strategy.
Just remember, you won't hit any of mine.
That's true. Drew doesn't have to prep anywhere near my base. He could just prep inside his own.
I think I'm just going to go hide chests under your base. Empty ones, too.
Oh, I was going to say you should just put like a single something in each chest. Just like, are you going to be pranked with this?
Yeah, that would be good.
See, this one has a stack of string in it. I wonder what's going on there. Yeah. Let's see. So after the Nihon prank, that's been the big thing in Minecraft. Although I did have quite a bit of fun trolling Snow. Was that just yesterday?
It was just yesterday. It seems like a long time ago because I already got the episode out. But yeah.
Yeah, but if you go hit up Snow's channel, I think it's episode 31. You'll see there's a point where I am. I figured when Snow was on, he was probably recording, and I decided I was going to go over and troll him while he was trying to get an episode out. So
dude, I snuffed that out, man.
You did. You know what? He spared me. I will say, and I will admit this because I'm a big enough man to admit this. He could have killed me very early on in my efforts to troll him, and he would have been well within his rights to do so. But he spared me, and that gave me an opportunity to come back and continue to torment him for like
you're just
twice
lucky
as long.
I
afterwards.
didn't have a Fish of Fury on me, or else I totally would have slapped you with it and killed you. But instead, I had overpowered equipment, so I figured I would spare you. But the best thing about it was that I went back and watched the footage. I had just picked up my water bucket and moved it to a different inventory slot, and then all of a sudden there's water at my feet, and I'm like, "What the heck is going on?"
That was pretty epic. What's funny for me because I was expecting the water to pool, to spread out a little bit, and I didn't realize that there was a pit there because I didn't know the mob trick that you were doing.
Yeah.
So when it flowed that way, I was caught off guard as well. So I was slow in picking it back up. And it was just hilarious. And I had no idea when you shot me that I had the arrow visible. Yeah. So I'm running around with this arrow sticking out of my head in midair.
That's why I was chasing you. I was like, I wonder if he knows that I can see him. Because he's really just I can see him running around and he's hiding in the corner like I can't see him.
There's just a floating arrow there and you're like, there's Slash. Yeah, so that was very entertaining. And I wish that I would have been able to record, but that was during the 6-hour One Was Johnny marathon that my daughter was listening to, recovering from her cold. So yeah, so that's a Snowshoe exclusive.
Mm-hmm. Sure enough. So what else have you been playing? You've been Minecrafting clearly quite a bit.
Minecrafting quite a bit. I got a KSP came out on Tuesday this week. See how I'm talking as if it's Wednesday, but it's not.
Good job.
And that was a lot of fun. I got some more to do in that. And then Starbound, I had to start a new character again. This is my third character in the beta, but they have released in their changelog for the version that's just came out, which I think is Furious Koala, that they shouldn't have to wipe characters or their spaceships anymore, and they're hoping they won't have to wipe planets anymore because of some code changes to how the save file goes. So,
if I remember correctly, you said that last time.
Ooh, he's calling you out.
That I don't think that I had said that they weren't going to have to do it again. I think I may have said something about the next update was going to do that, but the next update took a little longer than I expected.
Maybe that was it. I remember you saying this was the last character wipe, and I'm just like, or you said something like, this is the last character wipe they'll have to do, and I was thinking, what if one happens accidentally? Like,
oh jeez, if something happens like that accidentally, people would freak out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's been pretty good. So I got a new character there, and I'm pretty much caught up with where I was before. So I'm hoping this week I'll be able to get the next episode of that series out, and it should be, other than the obvious change in character, in terms of the overall progression of the game, it should be fairly seamless. So that's pretty good. And I've been doing some stuff on Play Minecraft as well. I have one of those going up. If it hasn't already come out, it's coming out I think tomorrow. I played some King of the Golden Monocle, and that game is just
King
ridiculous.
of the Golden Monocle. Okay, that went on too long.
That was amazing.
That's my favorite song ever.
I could hear you starting to drift off to sleep in the middle of that.
I think I fell. Yeah, I'm awake now. I think my arm fell asleep in that 2 seconds I was asleep, but I'm better. I can't click.
Snushy needs medical attention, I think.
No, I just popped a chocolate. We're good.
Fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
It's magical curing chocolate.
Good for the next 5 minutes.
Yeah. He's got to get a proper, proper dosage in. If he misses a dose of chocolate, then it's all over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unfortunately, my next dose is right out of reach, so I may have to take a break here in a minute.
But that's pretty much the extent of what I've been doing. How about Snow? What are you up to?
I've been doing so much stuff. This is like the first time since I started my channel that I'm like, I really don't have enough time to do everything I want to do. Because normally it's just me being lazy and not playing them all. But now it's like, okay, I've got my Minecraft stuff, and I'm rolling on that, man. I'm really excited about building my base and everything. It's starting to come together. Mm-hmm. And I finished that tree, by the way. I guess you saw that in the episode.
Yeah, I did, yeah.
That episode did not go according to plan at all. Like my plan was to go and landscape my entire area, and it was going to look all nice, and I ended up making a tree. That's pretty much all I did the entire episode.
It was made for good TV, though. It was very entertaining.
Yeah, I liked it. It was fun. And then I am building a map. I can't remember if I've announced this on the podcast yet, but I feel comfortable saying that it's going to be out in the next couple of weeks, and you guys are going to get to see what it is, and it's hopefully going to be a lot of fun. So
very cool.
Yep. I think I'm over halfway done right now, but the last half should be faster than the first half, if that makes any sense.
Can you tell us what kind of a map it is? Like if it's a puzzle
It's a
map
multiplayer map. It's a minigame map.
Okay.
So it's not
cool.
not like an adventure map, but something that I kind of am doing it with the building game in mind, with how much success that had. So if
Gotcha.
that tells you anything.
Cool.
But it has nothing to do with the building game, but just kind of that style.
All right, party game. Minecraft
Yeah, party game.
mini game.
Yeah, those are my favorite, honestly, if you can get enough people. Yep, that'll be coming up soon, hopefully. It's a lot of work, man. I haven't done that before. I've talked to, I'm friends with Q Magnet, the guy that made Complex and Diversity and is making Diversity 2. And he's told me how much time that stuff takes. I didn't believe him until now. That stuff takes a long time. You gotta build and then do all the redstone and all the command blocks and then actually testing it. I haven't gotten that far yet. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. And I think the main problem with command blocks is that there may be some repetition in the command blocks that you have to place and the types of commands that you have to run, but there's no way to automate that.
Yeah.
There's no way to like copy paste this command block over here and change a couple of things.
Well, there is now. You can clone blocks.
Well, that's true. You can do that in the snapshot.
I've been actually using that. Yeah, I'm running this. This is going to be a snapshot map. Hopefully, 1.8 is not going to come out fast enough, but I will update it to 1.8 when it comes out. That shouldn't be too hard. But yeah, I'm using a lot of snapshot commands that hopefully are going to be pretty good.
Cool.
Anyway,
Awesome.
That's enough about that. I don't want to get too far into that, I guess. And then, so Last of Us, I've been slowing down on that a little bit. No new news there, except for it's getting really hard, and I'm not very good at it. I found out. That game, yeah, I got to pick back up on that. I got to get my skills increased. But have we talked about the PvP challenge series yet?
I don't think we have talked about it on the podcast. No.
No, I don't think so.
I don't like not to promote it or anything because I totally don't promote my channel on this podcast. But I've been having so much fun with that.
YouTube.com/listener.
No, I'm not gonna do it. I've been having so much fun though because a lot of people. I mean, the views aren't huge on it, but there's a lot of people actually getting involved with it, sending me challenges, And so basically I'm just asking for PvP or PvE challenges where people just come up with ridiculous things and then I go try it out and then I record it. And it's so much fun. Just kind of like little 20-minute action-packed episodes. So I know you guys I'm going
to take this moment, Snow, to own up. I didn't realize this when I suggested it to you, because I knew that I knew it from somewhere. But the Witherspleef thing originally came from something Drew had said.
Oh,
I think when we were waiting for you to join the call before the Wither fight that we did on the server.
I was wondering.
On the BBFS. So, I apologize. I think I had said something in the server chat that is like, I think this came up during conversation already, but I didn't realize you weren't in the conversation at the time.
So you
and I couldn't
have
remember
an
who
erroneous
had said
medal.
it first. Yes, I have an erroneous medal, but I'm keeping it. It's mine forever.
Drew, you're going to have to beat it then. Unfortunately, yeah, Drew gave me an awesome suggestion this week. He'll give me, I think I'm going to do his other one, but we'll have to do, he wants to have a fight where we both look straight up and shoot arrows, no armor, first one to die loses.
But
and that was not my original idea. I got that from the Achievement Hunter guys, but it looks like a lot of fun.
How am I going to give out medals on this show? People stealing ideas left and right. No, that's fine though. You can take ideas from other people. I'm totally cool with that. Anyway, but yeah, people have been giving a lot of really cool suggestions, and just like crazy, ridiculous things, like fighting the Wither on a horse. That was awesome. That was probably my favorite thing I've done so far.
That was
honestly.
pretty crazy.
That's pretty crazy. Yeah.
And / pig. The pig actually did more damage than the horse did. I did really well on the pig. Anyway, and then finally, sorry, I'm going long on this one, man. I didn't think I'd played so much, but I did. The Attack of the B Team mod pack has been released to the public today, which is 2 days ago for you guys. And I bought it on Friday, because you could pay $5 to go towards Child's Play and then actually get early access to it. So I've been playing around on that. And on Tuesday, there was an episode released where I kind of go through, I think it may be Tuesday, I don't know, whatever. You know when it was released. If it's not released yet, I'm sorry. Where I go through all the mods in the Attack of the B-Team pack and kind of explain everything in really basic terms. And then I'm starting an LP on that's going to be out soon if it's not already out. So.
Very cool. I had seen some information go up on that from Generic B's channel, but I hadn't actually checked out the trailer or anything yet to see what all is included in the pack. So I've heard good things. Like it seems to be a lot of people are hyped for it.
Yeah, it's really cool. They did a good job theming it, I think. Where I posted this on Twitter today, but I'm looking for certain, kind of like themes to do for the LP. Maybe I might switch halfway through or something if I get tired of doing one theme. But I think my initial theme is going to be like not mad scientist, but mad meteorologist / astronaut. And it's going to be awesome. I'm so excited.
I approve of that combination.
Only because it says / in it.
You got me.
Anyway, that's all I've been playing, as if that is not taking up all of my life.
All right, well, we can move on to our, news topics.
As you know, I'm a big fan of Smite, and so I was really excited when my favorite character, Poolseidon, got a new character skin this week, which I immediately went and bought. It's called Poolseidon. And
oh gosh.
Was that like an insert laughter here pause? Poolseidon, I get it.
So he's wearing like a little swim, like a little circle thing. I don't know what. Yeah, an inner tube. Thanks. I haven't worn one of those in forever, so I didn't remember what it was called. Yeah, so he's wearing an inner tube, but the biggest thing is, for anyone who doesn't play the game, his ultimate ability, or like his super powerful ability, is he does release the Kraken, which a Kraken like comes up out of the ground and deals massive damage to anyone in the area. This version has released the Quacken, and it's a giant rubber ducky.
Okay, that's funnier than Poolseidon.
Yeah.
I'll give it that. Is release the Kraken not trademarked?
I guess not, no.
That seems like something that would be trademarked. I don't know, maybe it's just me.
Okay. Well, but yeah, there was the thing that's interesting about this is that they actually, for the launch of Smite, there's going to be a tournament, and the winning team of the tournament, they're going to get money from buying this character skin. For every skin bought, $5 is put into the pool, I guess.
Pool.
And I checked just before we started recording the podcast, and the pool is currently at $148,500.
Holy crap!
Wow.
So
This game
if you
must be
divide
kinda
that by
popular.
5, if you divide that by 5, which I'm not going to do because I'm not amazing at math.
It's like 28,000 or something.
Well, that's how many people have bought the Poolseidon skin. So,
Wow.
That's clearly very popular.
yes.
Man, $5 for a skin. I never got that. My friends buy League of
It
Legends
actually
skins.
costs more than that for the skin. It's just $5 is how much.
That goes to the pool.
I normally am not willing to spend that money on something sort of trivial like that, but because it was Poolseidon and I always play Poseidon, plus I am willing to support Smite, which is a free-to-play game, but it's amazing, so I'm willing to support the company. I decided to make an exception. Okay. Next, a new Elder Scrolls Online cinematic trailer came out. A while ago, there was a cinematic trailer for the game which kind of showed off the different factions, and I'm really excited about this game, by the way. But it showed off kind of like the different factions. The new trailer that just came out, it's called The Arrival. It continues from the previous one, and it shows basically Molag Bal coming down, and then all of the factions turn to fight this new threat, and it's a really epic cinematic trailer, and the link will be in the description, and I highly recommend you watch it.
Duly noted. So, okay, we haven't talked about Elder Scrolls Online. Can we touch on that real quick? Like, what exactly is going on there?
Okay,
Just real fast.
So, Elder Scrolls Online is, it's based off of the popular Elder Scrolls series, like Skyrim and Oblivion and all those. But this is the first one that's going to have multiplayer. It's an MMO. It's not being made by Bethesda. It's actually being made by ZeniMax Online Studios, which they've worked with Bethesda on some of the other games. But it basically takes place way before any of the other Elder Scrolls games. And there are going to be 3 factions. There's 3 races in each faction. And so when you first start the game, it's like, do you want to be an elf or whatever? And then, yeah, you get to pick your faction, and it's, the, like, main story is Molag Bal and Mana Marco. If you follow Elder Scrolls, or if you know about Elder Scrolls, you might know who those are. They're basically trying to take over Cyrodiil, or not Cyrodiil, Tamriel, the whole continent.
Yeah.
And then, the PvP aspect of it is basically the 3 different factions are warring over the central country of Cyrodiil to control the throne. So, yeah.
Huh. That should be interesting.
Yeah, it's
I want to watch
currently
the cinematic trailer.
Yeah, it's currently in closed beta. And I have actually gotten to try out the beta. I'm not allowed to talk about what I saw in the beta.
What? Oh, come on. It's not like you're on a podcast or anything. It's just a conversation between 2 friends.
I didn't get to play very much of it because I had to work a lot that weekend that I had access to it, but it was very fun, and I am planning on pre-ordering the game very soon, so.
Oh, must have been a good beta, huh? Some cool features?
And moving right along.
Honestly, the trailers excited me more than the beta, because like I said, it is a beta, so there is stuff that's unfinished, but.
So the features of the beta probably weren't very good, huh?
Shut up.
Oh, man.
So, finally, this weekend.
We can't say that. It's trademarked. The superb owl.
The superb owl.
There we go.
Fix that for you.
Yeah, you can, Matt, you can just, like, bleep it when I said...
Yeah, I'll put in hilarious sound effects.
Happened this weekend.
You just can't brand your stuff. Like, hey, this is the cast. No, can't do
Right,
that.
yeah. But I'm gonna censor it anyway for hilarity.
Okay, sounds good. So yeah, that happened this weekend, and normally I'm not a huge sports fan, and I'm really not a football fan. But for whatever reason, I decided I really wanted to watch the superb owl, and so I went over to a friend's house and I watched it, and yeah.
It was like the most boring superb owl that we've seen since I've been alive.
See, I was really entertained because this is the first one I've actually paid attention to. And there were several things that excited me. One, a big part of why I picked the Seahawks to root for is because the Achievement Hunter guys did a prediction of the game. They played Madden, and they did the Seahawks versus the Broncos. And it was a hilarious video, but the Seahawks won that, and the Broncos threw 10 interceptions in that.
What?
match.
It's kind of like in real life.
So
I was gonna say Madden is eerie.
So in the actual thing, pretty much the same thing happened. Not that many interceptions, but it was still 2 or 3 interceptions, which I understand is kind of unusual.
Yep. For Peyton Manning, at least.
And
for
but
sure.
there were 2 things that I absolutely loved about the game. The first one was that the final score had a 43 as the winning.
You would.
Yeah,
Didn't even notice that.
I really would. Seriously, when they got 43, I'm like, please don't score any more points.
Drew was rooting for the game to be over, not because he wanted to stop watching, but because he wanted the score to stop.
Exactly. And
Nice.
then the other thing was, I thought it was really hilarious. The very beginning of the game, the coin toss. Some, like, big football star.
Some big guy, Joe
wow.
Namath, man.
Oh, Drew.
I didn't remember his
Drew.
name.
Man, you're even from the same region. It's okay.
I
Oh,
don't, I
man.
literally don't watch sports at all, and especially not football.
Some guy.
Comes out in a pimp jacket. It was the
I was
coolest thing
gonna
ever.
say in a really pimpin' coat.
But no, I thought it was hilarious that he comes out to do the coin toss, and he did it wrong.
Yeah, he did it prematurely,
Oh,
didn't
man.
he? I didn't actually
Yeah,
see
he
it. so I
just
could-
Yeah, he
he's
flipped the
like,
coin
Joe
before
Namath's
they
gonna flip
picked
the coin. He's like,
sides.
here we go, flip.
And
I thought
the ref like
did a great
reached
job
out and
catching
caught
it.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he's like, not yet.
Oh man, I'll have
It
to
was-
look that up. I was en route to the
It was.
Oh
really
man,
funny.
that was a pretty funny moment.
Superb Owl. I'm sorry. Oh, bleep it slash.
Did you guys have anything you wanted to say about it?
About the Superb Owl?
Yeah.
I will say that when the game started out, I was rooting for the Broncos primarily because I like Peyton Manning. I think he's a stand-up guy, and I wanted to see him do well. And I didn't really have anybody else I was invested in. But there did become a point early in the second half when I was like, you know what, I'm just going to root for a shutout because that would be history.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
so you just lost
And-
all around.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So then that failed. But I mean, it was, oh my gosh, and it was supposed to be a really good game.
Yeah, see,
But
that's the thing.
it
I was
was-
rooting for the Seahawks just because I've been to Seattle, even though I'm a huge Wes Welker fan. But anyway, yeah, I was going for the Seahawks, and then just whenever, I mean, at halftime it was, 22-0, I think?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the whole time I found myself rooting for the Broncos just so I could have something to watch. But
Yeah, exactly.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm going for the Seahawks. No.
It was fun to be at a divided party where
Yeah,
Half
mine
the
was pretty
people-
divided too.
so it was just like we'd all be like, yes, and then there'd be some people who were just like, no, come on, seriously, what was that?
Have the people at Drew's party had aneurysms.
You've got to go to one of those that's actually competitive, though. Like where the game is close the whole time. Those are the most
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah, no, I am actually looking forward whenever it comes around to it next year.
Yep. What did you guys think about the commercials, real quick? Any good commercials?
There were some okay ones, but they weren't as funny as they've been other years.
That's what we say every Super Bowl, though. Every single time, everybody's like, "Man, it's not as funny as it used to be."
I don't agree though, because I've seen some in the past few years where I'm like, oh, that was one of the best ones. In my opinion, the funniest one, mainly because I do watch Downton Abbey, it was Jason Statham watching Downton Abbey on a tablet while fighting bad guys on an airplane.
I totally missed that one. I'm gonna have to watch it.
Yeah, that's one I missed too. But that sounds pretty awesome. And what's funny is that, like, I'm not a Jason Statham person. Like, that's not a name that I even really recognized until Kurt did the Jason Statham initiative on Far Lands or Bust. That was the first time that I even really paid attention to that name. So I think of Kurt every time. You
haven't seen any of his movies either? Or you just didn't know it was him?
If I have, I just don't. I probably didn't associate his name with
the one that
actor.
I've seen with him is the newer Italian Job.
Mm. Yeah, all the Transporter series, those are all really good.
Yeah. Now, there are very few of the sort of mainstream movies that I tend to catch. You know, the stuff that generally, if a lot of people have seen it, chances are I have not. That is the general rule.
I have noticed
it's very
that.
hipster.
Of determining whether Slash has seen a movie. Yeah.
Okay, well, speaking of superb owls and owls that nest.
Wow.
Segue.
That was the most awesome transition ever in the history of all transitions.
I have to say, that's probably the best attempt at a transition we have ever had.
Somebody just screwed up the link right there.
That was me. But yeah, I just wanted to touch on a couple of sort of technology related. Man, I'm going all over this.
What are you doing?
He's trying to mute his mic.
I'm on my phone, and my phone keyboard like pops up on the screen underneath my thumb when I try to scroll, and so it just types random characters. But yeah, in terms of technology news that caught my eye, we had talked previously. I think it was 2 podcasts ago about the Nest smart thermostat.
Mm-hmm.
And pretty shortly after Google acquired it, a bunch of open source companies decided that they were going to put out their own competitor to Nest, just so that it's like, hey, look, we've got a smart thermostat that won't give all your data to Google, basically. And a lot of them were actually coming out that seemed like they were going to be about as fully featured as Nest, but cheaper, which is usually the case with the open source stuff. If it's done well, they can do it usually at a lesser cost.
That's pretty awesome that someone is doing that. And I really wish someone would do something along the same lines with YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
It's just like Google does not monopolize this. Even if YouTube is still the main one, it would force... By the way, they were talking about this on the Minecraft podcast, so I'm stealing their topic. It would force Google to make YouTube better if there were competitors. Yeah. So...
Right, yeah, the whole monopoly theory, but, I can't remember what I was going to say about this, but it was something important. Yep, go ahead. Dang it, I had an important viewpoint there, too.
Snow, I think you need to eat more chocolate.
It's too far away. We'll do it later.
Okay. And speaking of the YouTube, monopoly, apparently a couple of companies like Microsoft and EA were paying YouTubers for essentially product placement in their Let's Plays or their game reviews or whatever videos that they were doing.
Right, not necessarily product placement. It was more of that they're paying people to give them reviews on their games that are favorable.
Yeah. So that's, I don't know. There's one part of me that kind of goes, well, that's kind of reprehensible. And then there's another part of me that's like, do you want to pay me to play something?
Yeah, I know. Bring it on, man. I'd
be totally cool with that.
Yeah, I'd go buy an Xbox One right now.
It's nice that they're recognizing YouTubers as a good advertising community.
Right.
Well, I mean, just look at the amount of subscribers right now. That's way more than I think they expect to get from ads, and not to mention... you watch a Vintage Beef video and he's got you captive for at least 20 minutes, whereas an ad is 30 seconds. So the amount that they're going to pay Beef to advertise Xbox One is going to be so much less than it costs to run a 30-second ad.
Yeah, exactly. And I gotta agree with what Drew's saying there too, is that it's great to see that these companies are embracing the quote unquote new media of the internet, and giving up the credence that YouTube is due, the content producers on YouTube is due.
We the people, in order
exactly,
we need to form a more perfect YouTube. Honestly, is what we need to do.
We the
Establish
people.
justice and ensure domestic tranquility.
That's
Provide for the
fantastic.
common defense. Promote the general welfare. Dang it, screwed it up.
Wow, you've done far better than I ever could hope to in ever. So
Thanks, Schoolhouse Rock, for that.
Thank you, Schoolhouse Rock.
Speaking of rocks,
Wow, that's amazing. That
was
works.
actually a good one.
Apparently, a rock has recently simply appeared out of nowhere on the surface of Mars.
as if they're not already there.
One of the Mars rovers took a picture of a spot on the Martian landscape, and then like a week and a half later, a donut-shaped rock suddenly appeared in that same spot where there was none before, and it's got people kind of baffled.
It was it was a Martian cop, and he accidentally sat his donut down.
it's like it's very bizarre. I don't know. It's like I don't know. I think the Martians are trolling us, is what it is.
How big is said rock?
It's not all that big. I forget exactly how big it was, but it's basically donuts. Like when they say donut size, it's like actually like that size. It's not just that sort of shape.
You're right.
That's
I
kind of a
misheard
hilarious
you.
description.
I thought you said donut shaped. It does say donut size.
It does say donut size. Yeah, you don't normally refer to things as donut size. You refer to them as donut shaped, but whatever. So I guess it could be a long john or something. Whatever. Who cares?
Oh man, no word on whether the rover has determined if it has a creamy filling.
Speaking of rovers and tactile machines.
Wow. Sishu's like eager to outdo himself now. I thought this was just kind of a neat technology that I'd actually like to see become a mainstream thing. But there was a information on a panel for what would go into like a smartphone or whatever, that you can actually programmatically cause it to push parts of the screen upward to form buttons, so that you have that tactile feedback. So, for instance, if when I'm in this Google Doc and I accidentally bring the keyboard up, that part of the screen would actually have bumps over each of the keys, so that I could more easily feel which button I'm accidentally pressing over and over again into the Google Doc. And I think that's a really neat technology, and I think it's one of the things that the modern smartphone has been lacking in, is the tactile feedback. I'm much worse on the touch screen keyboards than I was on the old, like, flip open the dumb phone keyboard.
That's why I got a phone that has a slide, and when you slide it up, it has regular buttons.
Exactly. Like, I'm much better typist on that kind of keyboard than I am on the visual-only keyboard that you find on a smartphone. And so I would love to have that technology that gives the best of both worlds. You have your completely flat touch screen available for those situations where, you're playing a game or whatever, and you don't need tactile feedback, but whenever you're typing, having the ability to have those buttons sort of pop up, I think would be really handy. So that just kind of caught my eye.
Yeah, and this is something that, like, whenever smartphones very first started to come out, I had a BlackBerry whenever, like, a good amount of people actually had BlackBerries. And I still love typing on the BlackBerry way more than I love any kind of on-screen typing, like swipe or anything. So for the longest time, I was hesitant to switch to a touchscreen phone. I had a BlackBerry way longer than most people. Until BlackBerry went to they got rid of their scroll ball and went to, like, a touchpad thing that broke every 2 seconds. Whatever. Different topic for a different day. Anyway, I think this is going to be really cool, though, if they can figure out how to implement it, and it's not just a concept technology.
Yeah, agreed. So, Snow, what did you want to talk about?
Well, first on a somber note, we all know of the passing of Phillip Seymour Hoffman, which is PSH, and I was thinking, somebody abbreviated that as PSH, and I was thinking PSJ. One of the first times I heard it, and I was like, what? PSJ died? No. Phillip Seymour Hoffman.
Yeah, just to clarify.
Yes, Paul Soares Jr. is alive and well, guys. No, Phillip Seymour Hoffman died, and I know you guys may not have really been into his acting career, but I don't know, he was one of my, maybe top 20 actors, and, I mean, he's in a ton of different movies. We looked it up earlier, and the one that is most recognizable nowadays, because it kind of incorporates a younger generation, is The Hunger Games. And he wasn't in the first one, so if you haven't seen the second one, I'm not going to spoil anything, but he plays the role of the new game maker for the second one, and then plays an integral role throughout the rest of the books from then on. And so they're making 4 movies out of 3 books, so the second movie, which is the second book, just came out, and so the next 2 movies are going to be over the last book. And he has a pretty important role there. So they're in post-production of Mockingjay Part 1, and Mockingjay Part 2, they're still filming. So I have no idea what they're going to do. It's not, I mean, normally they pull this stuff off pretty well, but how do you do that? Like, he's a fairly integral part of that second part of the book. I don't know.
Yeah,
but anyway.
I figure they'll find a way around it. There's some experience in Hollywood of having to deal with those sorts of situations, running around, a character that, they've lost the actor partway through the production.
Right, but a lot of the times it's not based off of a book, though. How many, I mean, I was trying to think of it earlier, because, you think of the guy that just died, what's his name, from Fast and Furious. That guy. Dang it, it's Paul
Walker.
Paul Walker, because every time I try to search pause on pause, it types Paul Walker death scene or whatever. I get depressed. Yeah, anyway. But yeah, Paul Walker, I mean, since they have nobody knows what's going to happen in Fast and the Furious, they can kind of edit it that way. And then when Heath Ledger died, I think they weren't completely finished filming there either, I don't think. And they could kind of edit the story to only incorporate the certain scenes he had done.
Right.
But because the story is completely already laid out, I don't know, that's why I'm interested. But we won't know till like a year and a half from now, so.
Right.
I'm sure they'll figure it out.
It's probably going to be noticeable to those who are familiar with the book, but those who, the movies are their only source of information about the franchise, so to speak. I think they'll probably be able to edit it in such a way that it'll make sense to them. They won't notice anything.
Yeah.
But I think the people who have read the book will go, oh, look at that change is because of PSH time.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's sad. He was a really good actor. I thought I really liked him. But I guess we can move on from that. I just wanted to mention him, give him a nice little eulogy here on the podcast because he was near and dear to my top 20 list of actors. Is anyone going to segue me into the next topic? Come on.
Speaking of dead actors, Sims 3
Oh, wow, Drew.
Wow.
A little more subtle, please. Wait, what does this have to do with dead actors?
I'm just following your example.
Mine at least had an iota of sense to them. Dead actors.
Speaking of trilogies.
Okay, all right, you're getting somewhere now. The Sims 4 or Sims 3.
Wow,
oh my
that's
gosh.
amazing.
This has gone too far already. I saw this on Kotaku. I follow them. Actually, I don't know. They pop up stories on my phone all the time, and they're actually always interesting. But they came out with a list of patch notes, which we have linked in the description. And I just wanted to read a couple of funny ones. This starts off by the title of the article is Pregnant Sims Can No Longer Brawl. Since 2009, they've kept a list of, I don't know if this is all of the patch notes or just the funny ones. It's quite a few patch notes, but these are pretty hilarious. So pregnant Sims can no longer brawl. Sims that drown while skinny dipping will now spin into their clothes while interacting with the Grim Reaper. I'm just reading off random ones. These are all pretty funny. Fix for babysitter routing off lots with babies. Sims can no longer try for a baby with the Grim Reaper.
That's horrible.
Fixed an issue that caused sim relationships to break when traveling to Egypt, China, or France. I don't know if
why would they patch that? That seems like it mirrors real life very well.
Right? Yeah, I don't know.
Long distance relationships in those places just do not work.
Mermaid children cannot take showers. Just like the most random
Can they
things.
take
Anyway, you guys,
baths?
they go swim in the mermaid ocean. I don't know.
Wow.
How is the mermaid ocean different from the regular ocean? That's what I want to know.
Have you ever seen a mermaid in the ocean?
I'm asking, have you ever seen a mermaid ocean?
No, because I've only seen a normal ocean, which is how I know they're different.
It's irrefutable logic, Drew. You just gotta accept it and move on.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 1 + 1 = 3.
Yep.
Whatever. No, it's better than that. Actually, you can prove that mathematically with some sketchy math. Anyway, speaking of sketchy math, no, I'm just kidding. This has nothing to do with sketchy math, but I think we're all done for today.
Except
so?
for questions.
See, sketchy
Indeed.
math. No.
No.
Wow.
Not at all.
Okay.
All right. Well, we have one question from our viewers. I almost said readers, and that would be hilarious.
It's
I guess-
apparently a million monkeys are...
Shut up. You guys don't even get this when you're listening to the podcast. I hit R to mute my mic, and I keep typing on the Google Doc.
It's amazing.
Yeah, it is.
But anyway, a million monkeys. Thanks for your question again, and it is as follows. Hey guys, and then my phone goes to sleep. Hey guys, being a mix of console and PC gamers, what do you think of the Steam machines?
Well, I meant to do some research, and I forgot. So I really don't know that much about the Steam machines. From what I know,
true.
it seems like it could be cool, but I really don't know too much about it.
I think we may have touched on this a little bit in the podcast, so I may repeat what I said earlier, unless maybe, I don't know, maybe we didn't, maybe I just thought of this in my sleep. But I really like the Steam machine. I think it's a really, really awesome idea, because the whole idea of it is that you can play PC games on your dedicated Steam machine that you're not recording podcasts on, and it basically streamlines everything, kind of like, Slash, don't you kind of do the same thing with your Linux boxes where, I don't know.
Not really. I mean, Linux provides that level of flexibility.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm getting at with that.
Yeah, but
Probably not the
I
greatest
don't
example.
have. I had actually attempted to, along those veins, set up a Linux box that was essentially just for viewing like YouTube and Hulu and stuff, and didn't really do anything else, so that we could just hook that up to the TV. So it's that sort of concept. But yeah, it's like it is sort of a hybrid between a console and a PC.
Yeah.
In that it's falling into the line of a trend that I'm seeing in IT a lot today, even at work, where these companies are coming out with what they're calling appliances, which are, they're computers. They're just like any other computer, but they've sort of been locked down and preloaded with certain things, so that as opposed to having necessarily access to a full OS, it's almost like a kiosk, like a computer that you'd find at for free at a coffee shop or whatever, that only allows you to access the web browser. It's that same sort of concept. It's like a PC, but it just launches Steam and lets you get
and in
into
this
your
case,
Steam games.
it's a fairly powerful PC, right? It's not. Not your coffee shop PC,
Yep. Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, so this is, lots of times, I've actually given away a few Steam games, and a lot of the time people will be like, hey, I've got this game that I want to receive from you, but I can't play it on my PC. So there's quite a bit of issues with people wanting to play games and not being able to, especially from Steam. And so if they can figure out how to launch this correctly, I think that's the trick right now, though, is figuring out how to launch it and figuring out how to get it to catch on. But I think it could be really, really cool, the next kind of hybrid console.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's probably not the sort of thing that I would be inclined to pursue, because, well, again, I'm the crazy Linux guy, so like I have Steam on Linux because it does run on Linux, and I have a small handful of games like Starbound that will run on the Linux side. But then some of the games that I have on there, like, Half-Life, for instance, that's Windows only, so I can't, I can't play those on there, and I have not yet been inclined recently to take the time to boot into Windows to play it. I don't know that I would necessarily feel any draw towards purchasing another dedicated box just to run Steam games on. Especially because, as a YouTuber, if I'm playing a game, chances are I'm wanting to record it. I don't,
Right.
the time that I have for playing games, I'd like to also try and put into providing content for my channel, because I don't get to sit down and play games, constantly like some people, Drew.
We make him look bad. Now, I want to offer up, we're kind of actually going pretty short on the podcast today for the first time ever. I want to offer up a second parter to this. I don't think this is ever going to happen, but hypothetically, it's a good talking point here. If Steam were to completely remove the Steam store from PCs and only offer it on the Steam box, what do you think would happen?
As far as I'm concerned, I would not probably continue with the Steam platform at all.
Right.
Under those circumstances. Now, I think some people would willingly jump ship to a dedicated console box and just do all their gaming on there.
Right.
But I would be in the subset that decided, nope, I'll find something else to do.
And this may just be an obvious type answer that I don't have in my head, but if you did have a Steam box, would you use your computer for anything else, really?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know. A lot of people just play Steam games on their computer. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And with smartphones and stuff, some people don't really need even to be on a proper computer for their email and those sorts of functions.
See, I don't know. For me, I feel like... And then what would happen? Would people start selling games directly from their websites? Or would you have to do what you used to have to do and go to Target and pick up the game? Shout out to Target. There you go, Drew.
My employers appreciate that, I'm sure.
Thank you. Now pay me.
I don't know, Drew, what do you think of Snow's question?
Well, I mean, I use my computer for a lot of things, and playing games is definitely one of them. But the main games that I play on my computer are Smite and Minecraft, which I don't play through Steam anyway.
Right.
Yeah, that's true.
And really, I'm happy with my Xbox 360. Most of the games I have on Steam are games that I got as gifts from people or just because they were really, really cheap. And it's because I have always been primarily a console gamer, but I just have one console and I'm not really willing to spend the money for a brand new console because it's going to be really expensive.
Well, yeah, but I mean, I'm kind of talking in the future where, you're ready to buy a new console, especially if you're not having your Steam games anymore. I don't know. It may be a completely ridiculous question.
So yeah, but basically my point is that I was completely satisfied before I had Steam. Even now with Steam, I barely play my Steam games.
Yeah, I guess that's probably true.
So I would not be willing to buy a new console. Or that specific one. I'd have other things I'd rather spend the money on.
Yeah, and luckily, well, right now I kind of view Steam as I view Google. They have so much power in the gaming community. It's crazy, and I'm kind of leery to give them my power. But with that said, I'm all on board for what they're doing right now, and luckily they seem to be fairly responsible with that power. So,
yeah, I think the Steam machine I think is a good idea. I think the hypothetical of them moving to that, in favor of dropping support for anything else, essentially, that would be a bad move. And I think they're likely aware of that. I don't suspect.
I don't think it would ever happen unless there were
Yeah.
some crazy baby steps that people didn't notice. Where
Right. They have to sneak it up on you.
Yeah, like Google's doing with Nest.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm looking at my thermostat right now, just checking, making sure nothing's going on over there.
Making sure nobody installed Nest without your knowledge.
Yeah. What are you doing over there, thermostat?
Your cat installed Nest.
Oh, she could, though. She's smart enough. She can open doors. She doesn't even have thumbs.
Alright, well, if you would like to submit a question to demguyspodcast...
Here we go. DEMGUY... Oh, I didn't do it! Hang on. Go again.
If you would like to submit a question to demguyspodcast, you can email us at
You're supposed to say it first.
You can email us at the email address that Snow is about to spell out.
You're supposed to say it first, and then I spell it out.
It's also on the screen.
No! demguyspodcast@gmail.com.
Oh, man.
You make my life so hard. Well, guys, that was a quick podcast today. I think we did pretty well. Got some good topics in there. I hope you guys enjoyed it.
Yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
See y'all next time.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.